Find the specialty insurance required to get you covered. We are your source for any real estate needs, whether buying or selling. We can help. Give us a call today so we can discuss your insurance or real estate needs. Park Insurance and Realty, 265 South Macon Street, 427-9345. That's 427-9345.
Are you thinking of selling your home or business? Hi, I'm Gloria, and as a realtor, I know that getting rid of the clutter in your home is one of the best ways to help sell your house quickly. At Jessup Premium Storage, our family-owned company provides a convenient and secure building for all of your storage needs. We now offer outdoor covered parking for that antique car, boat, or RV. Due to our recent expansion, we offer units that range in size from as small as a bedroom closet to as big as a one-car garage. All of our units are inside and climate controlled with 24-hour access and security. Our leases run month to month, so you're not locked into a long-term commitment, giving you the flexibility to move your belongings out the minute you purchase your new home. Stop by today or give us a call, 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage.
The cool, clean, and secure.
This is Sammy Dixon at the all-new Birch Ford in Blackshear. If you haven't had a chance to come see our new state-of-the-art showroom, then there's no better time than right now. While you're here, take advantage of huge savings on new Ford trucks. Get more than $10,000 off on select new F-150s while they last. You must hurry. They're going fast. Over $10,000 off on the best-selling truck in America for 39 straight years. You can also take advantage of money-saving low interest rates on new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Our new bigger showroom means more inventory, and that means bigger savings for you. Come to the house at Good Service Bill and buy from Birch Ford, and we'll give you 5 free oil changes following 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty.
If you're looking for an incredible deal on a new or pre-owned vehicle from the dealer who has always put you first, stop the search. Call the all-new Birch Ford in Blackshear.
This is Sammy Dixon saying thank you. Thank you very much for your business.
And it's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, the 10th day of May. You're listening to WIFO-FM in Jessup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Butch over here with you. Partly sunny today. High today near 86 degrees. Not quite as warm as it was yesterday. Up to about 91 yesterday. High today is going to be around 86, 87 in that area. Currently, we have 66 degrees here in southeast Georgia. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty in downtown Jessup. Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Birch Ford in Blackshear. And Bob, we got a very special guest in this morning.
That's Sheriff John Carson here for several topics. Sheriff, always good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. The first thing you want to do is promote this event taking place this weekend, the second annual Golf Classic, Cuffs, Clubs, and Kids. The proceeds go to help Georgia Sheriff's Youth Home. A lot of people don't even know what the Sheriff's Youth Home is, so explain first of all what that is and what this charity golf tournament is about.
First of all, thank you for having me again. I gave you a good full 24 hours notice this time that I need to come on, but thank you for that. But our youth homes, we actually have 5 campuses in the state of Georgia. We have the original one at the Boys Ranch at Ayara. We have Harrington Homestead at Nunez, which is outside of Swainsboro. We have Pineland at LaGrange. We have Cherokee Estate at Dalton and Mountain View at Chatsworth. So right now we have approximately 80-something kids in these campuses, and it takes a good bit of money to operate these campuses. But we have kids that and we deal with trouble kids, not kids in trouble, but trouble kids that maybe their parents are drug addicts. So nobody can raise them, so we take them in these group homes, and we have parents, and then they do an excellent job, and we've got them. We send them all the way through college. So we got a couple in college. Some are in trade schools. Everybody's not college material. And some, we help find employment that don't want to go to trade schools. We encourage them to go to something to further their education. But we support these kids, and I go to their Christmas parties every year. And, that will certainly tug at your heartstrings if you see these little kids, and some of them, are 2 and 3 years old. A lot of them have been on state championship football teams with Lowndes County, Swainsboro, up in Dalton, so they get a good education in high school, and we tried to, our motto is protecting our youth and preserving our future is what the youth homes are about, and we try to take care of these kids and make them productive citizens.
You had Donnie Ray send out the flyers and getting all the publicity out, but again, it's going to take place at the Pine Forest Country Club this Saturday, May 14th. Again, doesn't say the time on here. What time?
8:30 is the time is actually on the sheet where you register your team, but it's 8:30 tee off. And we will have prizes on every par three. We'll have that serpentine drive, which even duffers like you and myself can have a chance at. And then obviously we'll have long drive. We'll have prizes on, like I say, every par three. We'll have door prizes. It's $300 a team, but that includes your mulligan. So that's usually extra if you pay that. So we decided to include it and cut down on that. But another thing that we're doing, we're having a ball drop, and there's only 300 tickets that will be sold for that, and we'll pay 3 places with that, starting with $1,000. The other raffle we had going is called a Yeti raffle that Ace Hardware helped us with. We got three Yeti type coolers, almost $1,000 worth of stuff there that we're going to raffle off. There's 3 gifts of that raffle, so they're $10 as well. So anybody that wants it, you contact me or Donnie Ray, and we'll be happy to hook you up with some.
So again, it takes place this weekend, Saturday, May 14th. It's a 4-person scramble. Is that correct?
That's correct.
300 team, cash prizes, lunch provided. Takes place at the Pine Forest Country Club. So still time to sign up. What's the best number to sign up? The Sheriff's Department or the Pro Shop or both?
Both, either one. You can do either one. The Pro Shop's got the list out there. We're trying to limit it to 23 teams. Cart-wise, that's about all we're going to be able to handle. As a matter of fact, people that own their own carts that are bringing them, we've got a deal with that. We've cut that to you pay $260 if you go and furnish your whole carts and all. Your fee. I mean, your whole team has the carts now.
All right. So again, good event takes place this weekend. Forecast looks good. So if they want to sign up, again, 4-person scramble, and again, $300 per team, cash prizes, lunch provided, all this weekend at the Pine Forest Country Club. So.
That's correct, and then we look forward. We love to have everybody come. It's right now, weather couldn't be better.
Okay, we'll keep on promoting all this week. Hopefully it'll be a full field. Got any idea how many teams are signed up already?
We somewhere in the neighborhood of 15, I believe, maybe more now. I haven't checked since yesterday morning, so.
Today, well, again, hopefully a good crowd will show up, full field event, and again, all the money again goes to the Georgia Sheriff's Youth Home. So where's the closest Sheriff Youth Home here?
Nunez and Swainsboro.
Swainsboro, okay. And how many kids are at that youth home? Do you have any idea?
Not sure right now, because it varies. Some get taken out because a lot of defects places, some of them there, so sometimes it fluctuates, but I'm not positive. I don't want to give you a bad number.
Okay. Well, again, that takes place this weekend, Saturday, May 14th. Again, it's called the Cuffs, Clubs, and Kids Golf Classic, presented by the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff John Carter. Again, make sure you sign up your team today. 4-person scramble, $300 per team. And the number at the Sheriff's Office, 427-5970. I believe the number at the Pro Shop is 427-6505. I believe that's correct. Okay, another item that you want to talk about that I heard about, you can verify that I understand the GBI is in town doing an investigation here locally. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Verify that. I've heard all, I heard he said is to the, I'm trying to get facts here.
Well, in late April, we had a few people come to our office to file reports on missing funds during the school system. So we initially investigated, took a few reports, found enough that we felt like that we needed to call the GBI and let them investigate. Obviously, we had conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest with us investigating it. So I requested that they come in, and Region 14, the special agent in charge, agreed with me, and they assigned an agent to it that generally works in Camden, so he's not that familiar with anybody up here, and that's kind of what I wanted. I want somebody that doesn't have any really ties to Wayne County to do it.
How long do you think that investigation will last?
I have no idea. I don't know. They're just getting started. They have interviewed, I know, some of the victims, and I don't know where they are as far as talking to people within the school system yet.
Okay, we'll continue to follow that. Again, you're running for re-election. I know you want to come in and talk about the campaign a little bit. Again, I still haven't been able to get your opponent, Toby Cameron, to come to the Butch and Bob show. Again, the invitation still stands, but I know I've heard his ad, and all I know about him, like I said, I've only met him a couple times, or trying to get him on the show. I met him. I'll tell that story. I met him at the Huddle House and invited him to the show, and he said he was too busy, and I interviewed him when he qualified, and he said he had no time for the show. So, but anyway, the invitation still stands. But all I really know about him is he has experience with the Georgia State Patrol. But a lot of people ask, you said you know him. Did he have any leadership position with the Georgia State Patrol? Or was he just a patrolman?
When I first knew him, he was a radio operator, I believe, in Hinesville. As far as I know, he was never been a corporal or sergeant, patrol, post commander, or anything. I don't know if there's been a supervisory position or any kind of leadership position with the Georgia State Patrol.
Listening to his ad, he's talking about drugs and the possibility of putting a drug resource officer at every school. The first question people ask about is budget-wise. How could that be feasible budget-wise? Is that a possibility to have a drug officer at every single school in the school system?
Quite frankly, I don't know where you get the funding. There are grants available, and then I've heard in some of his ads that funding was available. He doesn't say where he's going to get it from, but I know I get these grants too, and I get these grant awards, and usually populations of 1 million plus, and usually inner city where they might get 9 grants out of it. But the thing about a grant is you have to assume that grant when it's over with. When we first wrote one, I've been writing grants since 1989, by the way, so I know a little bit about them. When we first started doing it, Butch and I both wrote them. Tried to get a school resource officer. It was 4 years at that time. Now it's 36 months, maximum of $125,000. You still have to furnish the vehicle. You still have a cash mask. You got a lot of things that it entails, and a lot of reporting requirements that requires. It's time consuming. So that's where that stands. I mean, I don't know where he's talking about getting funding to fund that many people, but if he can, I don't know. That's something you have to ask him.
No, I've been following these campaigns for a long time, and the one thing that strikes me every year they have an election year, and I hear from all these candidates, someone stole my signs. I put out signs, my signs are gone. But from what I understand, the DOT is responsible for a lot of that, because if they put the sign in the right of way, things like that, the DOT has no choice. But they even send out a press release saying, please don't put your signs in the right of way, because if you do, we have to take them up. So have you experienced any problems with your signs at all, or do you keep hearing that?
Sure. If you've got them out there, you're going to experience problems. And a lot of times, people come by and get some of your signs, and you don't know where they put them, and sometimes they end up on right-of-ways. I go by DOT, they tell you where to go, and I've went and picked up, some of mine that were on right-of-ways. I usually, most of the time, if I've got one on somebody's land, I've had permission. I've either called them or they've told me to put it there. And that's where a lot of it happens. If you stick one there on somebody's land and they didn't tell you could, they may remove it for you.
When you're in this election, how many years have you been in sheriff? How many have you been sheriff?
I'm in
how many elections is this for you, is what I meant to say. This is how many times?
With all the sheriffs or just mine?
Your sheriff, your term.
This will be my fourth time.
Right.
Yeah.
So and every time you run, I can't remember. The older I get, the less my memory's with me. I know you ran and had opposition several times. Have you ever run without opposition?
Last time I did run
That's
without
what I thought.
opposition.
Last time you ran without any opposition.
Yeah, it's been 8 years since I've been opposed.
Right, but you got opposition again, so you're familiar with the campaign trail. You're familiar with Wayne County. So tell us how the campaign goes for you. As an incumbent, what do you do? What's your campaign strategy? Where do you go? How do you get out to meet all these people? And what's your message to the people of Wayne County, when they head to the polls? Like I said, early voting's been underway for a week and a day. The turnout's been pretty good, over 100 people all last week, 91 yesterday. So a lot of people interested in the races. Most people got the message that all the local contested races are on the Republican ballot. In fact, 91 people voted yesterday. No one picked up the Democratic ballot. They all voted Republican. So they want to be having their voice heard in these elections. But what's your campaign strategy? How do you get around the county, and how do you get your message out? And what is the message from John Carter?
It's hard to get out and go door to door and do those type of things. So, I use the telephone a lot. I meet with a lot of people. I get invited to a lot of places, such as National Prayer Day, those things. I see people at those type of events. I have grandchildren playing in the recreation league. I see a lot of people at the ball fields. I was at Odom at the ball field last night. So those type of things is where I get around, and you'd be surprised at the number of people that you run into just going to Walmart shopping. And, I saw a lot of people. Matter of fact, last Saturday, I had to go pick up some items because I actually cooked for Mother's Day rather than go to a restaurant. I apologize to my restaurant people, but I'd rather cook than fight that line on Mother's Day. But anyway, that's, being at Walmart, I saw a tremendous lot of people. I wasn't there on a trip that should have took 10 minutes, and I was probably there an hour and a half.
So what do people did they ask you questions? Did they have concern? What do they,
Well, two questions I get: who is he? And you don't have to worry about anything, but I do.
Well, let's talk about the budget. You work with the budget. You work with, I don't think a lot of people understand the process. Explain the budget process. And it's all department heads. It's not just you. It's the tax commissioner. It's the clerk of court. It's everybody. Everybody goes in with the budget to the commissioners. As I said, they have their wants and their needs, and you hope you get most of your wants or your needs, but to explain the process to those people out there may not know how the process works. And, they talk about transparency. The budget's out there for anybody that wants to see it.
Well, I present, like you said, wants, needs, priority needs. I'm lucky if I get all the priority needs. But, you present what you think you need to operate the sheriff's office. The myth that they have to give you everything you want is not true. What they do have to do, they have to furnish you adequate funding to run your office. Now, that being said, your only recourse if you don't think you've got adequate funding is to judicially review it. In other words, go to court and sue them, and that's the last thing we want. We don't need that. So generally, we work together. And every commission, some have been harder than others, but I have been able to work with all of them. You're not always going to get what you want, and you better learn to make do with what you have. Is my philosophy. I can't worry about what I don't have. I need to use what I do have to the best use I can make it for the citizens, and not cut the services. But I can't do but so much with the funds that I have.
All right. One question I get from a lot of people, like, so say a new sheriff goes in, what authority do they have to, people that are currently with the sheriff's department, they have a job, right? I mean, they can't just go in and fire. I mean, we've been through that before. That happened years ago. A person came in and decided he was going to fire everybody. We wound up in court with a big lawsuit because all those employees have rights and they have jobs. Is that correct?
Well, they're under the civil service. They're not at-will employees. Basically, you have to have just cause to terminate anybody at the sheriff's office, and you go through a progressive discipline policy that when you do terminate, you can terminate somebody if you have a bad employee, but you have to process, you have to go through. You can't just, because he comes in and makes you mad one day, said you gone. That's not possible. And that was the case you're talking about is Wayne County versus Herod. It was a 1993 case. It has been upheld about 7 or 8 times since it was decided by the Georgia Supreme Court. In 93, I believe it was.
Went all the way to the Supreme Court, right. But it was a mess at that time. That's one of those chapters in the book, what a mess, but we'll leave that for another day. But again, people ask it all the question, they hear these kids go through, if I win this position, I'm going to give so-and-so a job. I'm going to give so-and-so. It doesn't work that easy, does it?
No, it does not. And a lot of the positions, like I said, we went from 2003 to 2014 without an increase in staff in the sheriff's office. In 2014, I was able to get 2 deputies, and this year we've gotten 3. So, we're increasing. We also took the 911 center under us now, and that increase makes it looks like we got more people on the street when actually we've got people in the 911 center, which are extremely important. That's where it all starts when the calls come in. That's where it originates. They call and then they dispatch us to whatever event might be going on.
Drugs, of course, continues to be the main issue. You hear it all the time. I'm sure that's I hear that in his ads. He's running. Drugs is a major issue, big problem. I know we just started the drug task force, which has been a big. But the perception for a lot of people for many years has been, they used to have these little drug roundups every now and then, and those were the penny ante people that don't ever go after the big time drug people, the people that bring it in. How do you respond to that?
Well, I disagree with that. We took two of our biggest pill dealers off the street in 2015 before we ever merged. Seizures on one of them. We still are trying to sell the real estate that we seized, but we seized about $120,000 in cash, and I believe it was, can't remember how much on the other, 30 or 40 probably, somewhere in that neighborhood on those two. But that's two of the biggest dealers we had. We look, and then I tried. I want quality, not necessarily quantity, but sometimes you have to get a dealer to try to, a user to get to a dealer. But we tried to do that. Other things we're doing, we're meeting with other counties once a month and sharing information. That's been a big deal. The merger has certainly been a big deal on both the investigations and the drug side. Now, our investigators meet quarterly, with other counties and share information. The drug unit meets monthly, and we do it in each county, and we usually, feed everybody. We'll have also, we have usually ATF and DEA will be at those meetings too, and we try to share information. Because quite frankly, a lot of our drugs are coming out of Savannah, a lot are coming out of Atlanta through here, and then going Savannah, and from Savannah through Liberty Long and this way. And so we're trying to get other counties on board with us with this thing. But we right now with Long Liberty, Tattnall, and Wayne, and Appleton that are doing it.
If you just joined the Sheriff John Carter in studios with us, seeking re-election. Again, when I go to drug court, the two drugs I see, those seem to be the big problem. Meth is a big problem in Wayne County. There's a lot of people addicted to meth, which I don't understand when you see those pictures on TV, what it does to your body. I don't understand that. But the other thing is prescription medication. And that seems to be a big epidemic, not only here, but, statewide and nationwide. A lot of people just addicted to pain pills and things like that. So how do you combat all that?
Well, what we're seeing now, Bob, is more heroin coming back because it's cheaper. Right now, the prescription drugs you're talking about are about $1 per milligram per pill. So, that's a lot of money there, but they're able to get heroin cheaper, and it's making a comeback. We're seeing more and more of that.
What about your fleet and the number of people working for you? That always seems to be the issue when they go budget time. You need more employees, need more vehicles. How do you think your vehicle fleet is at this point in time? And how about manpower? Do you still think there needs to be more people under you in the Sheriff's Department?
Yes, we do need some more, especially we need some at the jail for sure. As far as our vehicle fleet, the Splost 3 has been a tremendous help with us. Our fleet's in the best shape it's been in 25 years probably. But we're continuing that. But that being said, there's going to come a time when those wear out, and that's when we're going to have to. We need to figure out what we're going to do then. Because I've been on a schedule, or tried to keep the commissioners, or put them on a schedule, or get them to do a schedule of buying X number of vehicles per year, and then you don't have that problem. But if you say buy 6 vehicles and then 2 years later you don't buy any, then you get behind the 8 ball. But if you buy X number a year, I think that you can make that do. The other thing, we've gone to pickup trucks, as you probably noticed, which is really cheaper than what we were paying for a lot of the cars. But the thing I think that gives them the value is, other than us, a rural county with, over half our roads are dirt anyway. But the fact is, when we get through with them, before with, say, a Crown Vic, it went to the boneyard unless, somebody like the tax assessor's office or somebody like that could use an old Crown Vic. Otherwise, it went to the boneyard. Right now, you could take these trucks. The road department can use them. Rec department can use them for some of the local stuff. Now, it's not something you want to drive to Atlanta or North Georgia in, but it could be used. You can get a lot more use out of it, and resale value is better as well.
One thing that's been improved is the court system, is because with the addition of the new courthouse, you have the old courthouse, the courthouse downstairs. It's amazing how many courts are taking place at one time. Whereas before there's only one courtroom, and now you got all kinds of court taking place on a daily basis. Weekly.
We're doing court 20 to 25, maybe 26 days a month. About 10 of those we've got double court. Sometimes we have triple court about 2 or 3 times a month, maybe. I'm not sure on that, but sometimes we have had as many as 4 where we had to use a conference room at the county administrator's office or something like that to hold a hearing. Now, when you do that, it's just a small hearing, but it's still, you got to furnish a place, and I have to have deputies at every one of these events.
Well, the bad news is you have opposition. The good news is only 2 people in the race, so May 24th, someone's going to be declared a winner. But people are voting early. Like I said, we ask the question all the time when people go into the voting booth this week, next week, or May 24th, why should they vote John Carter Sheriff for Wayne County?
Why? I believe experience is one of the big things. Results, proven results. I mean, I think our record speaks for itself, and I'm extremely proud of the men and women at the sheriff's office, the jail, and the 911 center. They do a heck of a job for this county, and they're not looking for pats on the back. They're out there, they're doing a tough job, and I think proven leadership is there. I mean, I believe that's what we need. I've done it 32 years basically. Not even counting my leadership in the military. So, I feel like I've got the experience, I've got the leadership, and I'm progressive. I'm willing to change, just like we did the merger. I'm willing to look at new ways to save the taxpayers' money and not cut services.
Okay. Again, Sheriff John Carter, before you go, once again, the Cuffs, Clubs, and Kids Golf Classic. Tell us again about that, how to sign up.
You can call the pro shop at, I believe it's 6505, and the Wayne County Sheriff's Office at 427-5970. And we will be glad to hook you up with anything.
Again, Sheriff, always good to see you. Like I said, enjoyed working with you over these years. Wish you the best of luck in the campaign. And the election goes all the way to November because there's a Democratic candidate as well, someone you're familiar with as well. So if you get by the primary, then you have to have another election in November.
Well, we got one hurdle at a time, Bob, so we'll take this one first, and then we'll worry about November when that time comes. But I appreciate the time. I appreciate you allowing me to put in a plug for the golf tournament, and I will keep you informed on the other matter, the investigation going on as it progresses, and I'll try to, make sure you're informed, and I think that's part of the sheriff's job too. You got to deal with the media, so you need to be out there dealing with the media.
All right. The world famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and also brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, right across from the Heritage Bank. 8:25 on this Tuesday morning is the 10th day of May. Partly sunny today, high today near 86, and the autumn hopper level is at 7.7 feet and falling, 69 degrees here in southeast Georgia. Coming up next here on the Big Dial, we got the latest news from Fox News Radio.
It's National Hospital Week, the largest healthcare event in the nation. Begun in 1921 as an idea